Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be working on a Philips MM1, not the transistor version, the Philadelphia, but the slightly earlier one, which is actually a 224 in disguise. The extra piece they changed the designation for was a phono input. There is also the MM1, and that apparently has some cosmetic changes, and that's about it. This also has the cosmetic changes. It's got a grey front instead of the white, and other than that, oh yes, it's stainless steel instead of gold plating or brass or whatever they used. It's an unusual colour in that it's sort of this very, very pale pink. Don't know whether you can see that or not. It has a heat stress mark in it. And when I picked it up at the market day last Saturday, it was almost black with muck. I had to hose it off outside before I brought it in, and it's come up a treat. There is hardly any visible scratching on it, and there is a small crack down the side of it, or in the top right hand corner. So yes, the chassis itself has been recapped with all the brown caps, and a lot of the resistors have been changed too. So someone went to town on that. There is also a capacitor which doesn't seem to be doing very much at all, and it just sort of runs from the pin 3 of the BD5, 6BD5, and yeah, it just, I don't know where it goes. But I disconnected it and it made absolutely no difference because it's not on the actual circuit diagram anywhere, but it looks like it's been put in quite a bit of time ago. So I don't know what's going on there. It made a horrible, just a loud 50 Hertz hum when I first plugged it in, and once I replaced the minuscule 250 volt power filter caps with the proper, they're actually marked as 324 microfarad. These were 222 microfarad. And so I replaced those with the Carl's caps of 24 and 600 volts. And that has quietened it down quite a bit. There is at least one mica cap that's dying in there, so it crashes and crackles. So there's only a few mica caps in there, so it won't be hard to check out. The knobs and the front plate are in soaking to get all the muck off them. So I'll just take a photo when I've reassembled it. It is working pretty well, I must say. And yeah, so that's that radio done. And it didn't take very long at all. What I've mostly been doing the last couple of days is trying to find a back hinge for the car. It has a window which opens up on the tailgate. So it's a reasonably large four-wheel drive type vehicle, or SUV if you like to call it that. And so I've looked at 25 wrecked ones, and they're all missing the back window and the hinges. And half of them have the tailgate gone. So it's obviously a weak point in the car. It is just cast metal. So yeah, it was going to break eventually anyway. The other thing is, I haven't been able to do very much because of my finger. I had it x-rayed yesterday and there is a crack in the bone. At least the swelling has gone down, but there's still quite a lump in there, in this part here. If you look at that one, it should be like that, and this one has the lump in it. But it doesn't actually hurt or anything like that unless I knock it that way or something like that. So apparently the doctor said today that it's going to take another at least 8 weeks to heal, because that sort of bone heals very, very slowly. I've never had a broken bone in my body before, so it's anyone's guess. Okay, let's get into the video. It's only very short this week. I've probably spoken in the introduction longer than the actual video will run, but yes, so I'll try and do another one for next week, but there's no promises. I have to go up to Ballarat for a couple of days this week. And then Saturday is again another HRSA meeting. We've been having a lot lately. And yes, I'll try and get a hinge for the back of the car before the window falls out and smashes on the road. But yes, I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, I've just JB welded this together. You can see this. Yes, it was rather a stupid thing. This is the hinge, or one of the hinges off the back window of the Ford Territory that I have. And this hinge is, or this part of it, is made out of pot metal. And as you can see, it has come apart there where the screw is, and the whole bottom part here has snapped off. So I went to the wreckers on Saturday and they wanted $180 for that. So I've decided to try and fix it with JB Weld, and we'll see how we go. Okay, on to this radio, which I picked up on Saturday. It was absolutely disgustingly filthy, so I took it outside and hosed it down, and it's come up quite nice. I have to finish the back off, but you might be able to see a dimple here where there's been heat stress. So something inside has got very hot. It's also got a small, well, quite a large crack actually there, which has been repaired in the past. As you can see in there, I don't know whether you can see or not, but yeah, a bit of a messy fix in there, and the crack has continued down, so I'm not quite sure what to do with that. This has got its original lino in it for heat. It doesn't seem to have done very much good, so it's still melted there. It's got a couple of little minor crack chips out of it, and actually it's come up reasonably well, so that should polish up quite well. The radio itself, bring you down, not with that finger. Sorry about the angle here. This is the later version of the, I think it's the 224, and nothing much changed. This is, as I said, the Melody Maker 1, and there was a Melody Maker MM1 or 01, so I should say. And this has had work done on the past. I'm quite surprised the case hasn't been wrecked at the back, given the cord has been stuffed in. So there's quite a few resistors, in fact almost all the resistors, about half the resistors have been changed, and the caps have been replaced with these brown caps. But surprisingly, this one and this one are still paper caps, even in 1966 when this was made. This one, oh no, 64. 21st of October 64, the output transformer was made. So around about 64, early 65. And yes, they're still using wax-coated paper caps. I haven't turned it on yet. That is pretty bad. I'll have to fix that up. This later one has a phono input down here. If you can see that. So that was the only change on it. And of course, the front of it is grey instead of white, and there's chrome instead of the gold. So, and then there's a funny brown colour in there, very strange. So I haven't cleaned the grill up or anything like that yet. This is, I don't know what colour this is. It's a very, very pale pink, and it hasn't faded or changed colour or anything like that because it's the same colour inside. It's a sort of insipid beige colour or whatever you like to call it. So it's really, yeah, yeah. So it'll match up with the pink one that I have and the blue one, both of which need to be resprayed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is plug it in. Oh, by the way, the other camera has died, and it's going to be sent off to a Sony repair centre. Strangely enough, they don't have a repair centre in Melbourne anymore, so it's got to go to Adelaide, bizarrely. Okay, so let's bring this up on the Variac where the lights are on. One light. Well, it's working, but it is just making a very loud humming noise. In fact, I can feel the vibration through the Lazy Susan. So we'll first change these little caps down here, and with proper ones. So these only look like 200 volts or something like that, and actually that one looks like it's burst. So let's turn it off. I have the schematic here. Finally got around to buying a couple of these circuit books which have all the circuits in them. Also managed to find some original circuit manuals or sheets. So there's 3 here, including one for a tinny, battery operated one only.